Captain Marvel issue number 11 was great artwork, new reader friendly, old reader respectful, conclusion. Kelly Thompson went binary. I don't know how you can have all of those things. And then I opened the page and I remember what the art. No, let me show you this page. Pick up the book right now. Right now. If you haven't read this and you just watch spoiler reviews for some reason, go away, pick up the book, read this. You're welcome, says Chillmonger. Because Carmen Carnero put everything she had into here. She spoke about it at the end of the book because this is going to be her last one. She's going to write X Corp after this comic. I'm reading that too, right? Because I'm an X-Men guy. It's a whole lot of X-Men titles that they're putting out when you consider Wolverine and the 6 titles that we got coming out. Just imagine if they're all good, right? Like, I didn't read Age of X-Men because I know better. Age of X-Men hasn't been referenced since June, and it's never going to be referenced again.
Exactly. Remains to be seen like fossils in museums.
It remains to be seen, but this comic is not any of those things. This was epic. The artwork showed me everything I needed to see. Imagine if there was no words in the comic. That speaks for itself. And then we're going to see her get Hank Pym'd later on, little girl who was inspired by Carol. She was Kamala Shan, because as soon as that moment happened, that's when Carol just F this. No, not at all. She put a thing back into her heart so that, okay, you can't be taking the power off everyone. Showed that self-sacrifice. And then when it came to the girl getting hurt, all right, I can't witness this anymore. Here you go. And when she hugged her, I thought, what's she going to do? Just turn on her powers and make her absorb so much that she explodes? That's what I thought would have happened. But Carol rips out that part out of her. If she dies, she dies. But that was all it took. Jennifer Hazmat came into the story, and I forgot she got a good lick, but Star was a little bit too powerful. When Hazmat joined, and it was her joining, I'm thinking, oh, of course, of all the heroes to come up and save them, it's the one that is featured in your story. Not any of the other New York heroes, but the next thing Hazmat says explains that the Avengers are away and they're busy. At least they explained it. Yeah, it's weak. But consider that every comic book character has a book going on right now. They're always busy. It is possible that the Avengers and the Spider People and Cloak and Dagger, the Fantastic Four, who are actually in an outer space adventure right now, have been away from New York as this was going on. So this was before or after Absolute Carnage. At least they tried to explain it, and I accept it because they went the extra mile to explain it. Miles and all them people. So Tony Stark does show up at the end, and he had a stupid line about, does she even belong on the raft? Who the fuck are you, Tony Stark? This guy forgets that he was a war profiteer for so many years. It's just only the last 11 years of the Marvel sliding timeline. That's right, I said 11. I don't play with that 10-year no more, the amount of time that passes in our comics. So in the last 11 years, this guy just becomes a good guy, and all of a sudden he gets to decide who goes into the raft. And no, she is too dangerous to be kept alive, to quote one Mace Windu. What's to stop them from changing their minds again is what she says when she's watching TV with Rhodey. A lot of the humans would say stuff about her, like, you're a heroic idiot. Hazmat says that you inspire her. The man on the TV was saying what she is, like she's a role model for us. And I find that in Kelly Thompson's writing, if she wants you to think something about this character, she'll have a character say it. It's not left up to the artwork. It's someone else will say this message about what I think of Carol Danvers. And that's kind of rehab. Carol needs rehab to some fans because of, remember Avengers issue 200? Remember that story? Remember every nonsense that she's gone through? This was great. This wasn't a breakdown of Captain Marvel. We've taken care of that. She's a Kree. She's hated and feared. In a way, she's a mutant. And this was the building blocks of that. And I would rather read those stories. I know both are necessary. You got to have the, Black Panther chilling in Hell's Kitchen. And then we got to have Black Panther climbing his ranks and being epic. We got to have that in our storytelling. And I prefer the ups more than I prefer the down. Maybe that's me being positive. But even though this was an up, the way that it began, things looked dire for Carol. So this touched every story point that I needed it to touch. I love this comic book. Highly recommend this comic book. You made it to the end of this video without buying the comic. Congratulations, you played yourself. But you'll still find enjoyment in this comic book. I imagine this is how a good Superman story would read, where he could do anything at any time, but it's that one. He only reaches his strength to match the threat level. And when she Hank Pym'd that girl, that was it. Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel issue number 11. Goodbye, Carmen Carnero. Kelly Thompson's gonna keep doing this book. And Evil Carol and the Solicits, I don't know what that's about. It never really like captured me or convinced me, oh, this is gonna be great. But the whole rest of the world is talking about it like it's gonna be good. The Last Avenger, Captain Marvel. I'm up for that story. I'm happy for that story. My name is Chillmonger. Subscribe to the channel. Go watch my X-Men review. Go watch my fucking Doctor Doom review for the sake of it. Go watch my Doctor Doom review. Thank you guys so much for watching.